everybody. This is Tom Maxson, LMBT, and I want to talk about stress for a few minutes. I've been kind of playing with this idea in my head of a concept that growth is better than gains. Growth is greater than gains in terms of like conventional gym bro wisdom. Gains are the ultimate goal of everything, right? How much weight can you put on a bar and lift it? It's very one-dimensional. It's very much a measurable one thing that you're trying to figure out. How strong am I? And it's very much muscular, muscular system. One piece of a really complicated physical and mental machine that is our human body. So pretty much my job is stress management. I'm a massage therapist, I'm a reflexologist, I'm a teacher, and in all of these different niches, I'm talking about stress. I'm looking at stress. I'm trying to unravel how is the body absorbing information from the environment and expressing how it's dealing with it. Is it hurting the body or is it building up the body? If you pick apart that word growth, it means a lot more than just how much can I lift on one bar in one motion of the body, in one joint or group of joints. You're talking about a psychological situation, you're talking about a physiological situation, anatomical, training as a word, as a concept, physical training, personal trainers are teachers of your brain and your body. Massage therapists are looking at that as how do we help the brain relax enough to sleep well and recover during sleep and downtime, and like how do you promote that recovery healing process, and also how can we put out some fires if you're really attacking your body with high intensity, super aggressive workouts from that conventional wisdom of I've got to push to failure, break down the tissues so that I can rebuild stronger the next time. It's good, it works, but you could be doing a lot of damage at the same time. So my perspective would be to take it slower. Treat it as a learning process. You can't, train your brain to failure. That would be kind of counterproductive if you look at it that way. Your brain, when you're learning something, you have repetition of information or a specific thing that you're trying to learn, which is repetitive but not damaging. So if you were if you're watching a documentary on TV, if you turn the volume up as high as it'll go on your TV, that's not going to teach you better. It's not going to teach you faster to learn that information because of the volume. The middle volume is going to be adequate if you can hear it and understand it and process it as new information to you, and you can focus on it and be mindful of what's coming in to your body through your senses, through your nervous system, then you're going to get a lot further than if you're just trying to bombard yourself with stimulus, which is kind of how a lot of people go about training their bodies physically, when it's obvious if you say it the other way. If you say mentally, I'm going to train with brute force, that sounds ridiculous, right? So I'm trying to get that point across to a lot more people, that stress management is the key. Stress is all about levels. We get input from all over our environment into our body at different levels of intensity all the time, 24 hours a day, waking or sleeping. So we have to do something with all of these stimuli that we're absorbing all the time. And we have to figure out which ones are building us up, helping us grow in some way. It's a very three-dimensional idea versus the one-dimensional, how much can I get my bicep to move from here to here? You know, the gym bro is very focused on the muscles. I'm trying to be better than that. I want to build my brain and my body and grow as a human and not just get gains that I can mark on my little notebook and say, hey, I lifted this much today at the gym. So I've been kind of just playing with those concepts, and if you can give me some feedback, give me some good wording for these ideas. I'm still just at the very beginning of playing with this and teasing out some of the wisdom that's there. I know there's something there, but I'm not quite on it yet. So please make this a conversation. I don't want to just talk to myself about this because I'm not getting very far other than that, what I've just said so far. So I spend a lot of time putting out fires in my practice when I get people on my table who have been training real hard to do something. If it's mental stimulus that's over the top, it might be a migraine, it might be severe tension in the neck, or it might be severe low back pain if they're doing something really athletic that's overly intense for what they've been able to build up to, because they are pushing themselves farther than their body has grown. Which again, we're kind of looking from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. We're going back and forth between a mental, psychological, neurological process of learning and adapting to change versus physiological strength in the musculoskeletal system. You got to put it all together. The medical profession and body workers and all these different training protocols and perspectives and philosophies, they like to pick apart different pieces of the holistic puzzle and try to treat or grow or develop one piece of that. But you can't do that. Those are all arbitrary definitions. No area of our body works completely independent from everything else inside our body. Everything is related. Everything's interconnected. You cannot isolate any specific system of the body or region of the body without taking into account everything else throughout the body. So if I'm looking at a client, speaking with them, figuring out how did they get here today, why are they like this right now, a lot of my job has to do with helping them be mindful of what's going on. How did they train themselves? How did they beat themselves up? How did they overwork? How did they underuse? How did they get to where they are today, right? And try to keep it within a comfortable level of stress. I'm trying to bring their general stress level to a good, constant, steady rate, an amount of stimulus that does not hurt them, does not create fires that consume them, but creates fires that drives them, that fuels them, that is comforting and warm and helps them relax. If you kick your feet up by a nice hot fire in the fireplace, you can relax, you can breathe, you can think. That's a really positive form of fire. But if you are consumed by the fire, if you have inflammation, if you are overworked and you're putting the wrong fuel in your body that lights up too fast, you can cause a lot of problems. So just trying to balance those things out. How did you get where you are today, and how can we minimize as many different areas of stress in your life, mental or physical, as possible, so that you can focus on the ones that are important to you and your big picture as it is right now in this season of your life, and get somewhere, get some growth instead of just thinking about short-term gains. Growth is superior to gains. Growth is greater than gains. That's what I'm trying to say. So thank you for listening. I'm Tom Maxson, LMBT in Cary, North Carolina.